What's up, everyone? Nice day to go for a ride. I'm on the 1198S tonight, or today, or this evening, one of them. I see there's a lot of people out. Now I will say, having a quick shifter and auto blip on the V4 going to nothing on this thing here, I don't know if I like it. I might have to do something about it for the 1198S. Maybe a little bit of updates coming, because it is nice not to have to squeeze the clutch all the time. But I will say that going back and forth, I'm still not used to the V4 yet, so I really can't talk on it. I don't want to talk on it until I put some real miles on it, because like I've explained in other videos, I think it takes a little bit longer to get used to a bike, so I don't want to start talking about it, and I'm not as familiar yet, and I have almost 11 years with this bike, almost 10,000 miles on her, so I'm pretty familiar, and I can speak on this bike, but not ready to talk on the Panigale yet. But I can say, as far as I can put my feet flat on the ground on my 1198. On the V4, I'm definitely on the ball of my feet, so that's a little different. Definitely the throttle difference is noticeable. And obviously it's a twin versus a V4. About 72 degrees down here. Definitely warmer than up north. But this morning was 49 degrees, and yeah, I like it when it's about 74. I know some of you might be wondering, why am I taking the V4 on the track and not this? But I am thinking about putting this on the track too. There's a little bit of things I'd like to do to this before I bring it to the track. I'd like to get the oil change in the fork and rear shock. So I'd like to get it serviced before that. I think there's a couple of suspension bits I may need to change. Just because I'm just not heavy enough to get the bike in the perfect sag for me. I'm kind of light. But I have to say about the 1198, I love riding this bike. Once upon a time, I almost got rid of it. And I'm glad I didn't, because I still enjoy riding it. It still puts a smile on my face. I don't know if it's just because I have a certain amount of miles on it, or I just been riding. My Panigale is my 5th Ducati, so it could be just because I'm just used to them. But this bike really feels like an extension of me, you know. Um, and I think, you know, some people out there can relate to that. But whatever I think, not whatever I think, but when it comes to riding, and if I want to do something and I think the bike just kind of does it, we're kind of in tune together that way. I don't know if that's going to happen with the Panigale. We do have computers in between me and the bike. So it is going to be a 3 to 5 way relationship, because I believe there are 5 computers on that bike. So, you know, so that's going to be interesting. But this definitely is a view. Now I am running the stock exhaust on this thing. So, you know, I think I'm going to upgrade it and do an exhaust on it. So I think it's the right thing to do since I'm putting exhaust on the Panigale. I might as well do this. Although the sound on this sounds better, yeah, especially if you ask my daughter, than the Panigale. So it doesn't sound bad, but you know, I know it can sound a lot better. Missing the track though, I gotta say. Stock clutch in the V4. I got a dry slipper in this guy here. If you can't hear it, and I'm thinking I might do a dry slipper in the V4 as well because I am a fan of the dry slipper clutch. Really am. So I like how they sound. You know, they're synonymous with Ducatis. You know what I mean? And it's you know, and they feel really good when you're on them. So. Definitely I'm fortunate to be able to ride on January 5th. And, when I was up north, I used to come out, but I'd have to plug in all my heated gear, or I switched to batteries after a while. Battery heated gear, which helps for short rides, stuff like that. But nonetheless, heated gear is the way to go if you're trying to extend your riding season. Yeah, it's kind of weird going back and forth without the quick shift and auto blip. I'm gonna have to do something about that because mentally I want to hit the auto blip or quick shift, but there's not one. I mean, I suppose I could just not use the quick shift and auto blip in the V4, but that doesn't sound right. Now, I did trade in my Multistrada for this for the V4, so I do miss the Multistrada a little bit. It was a really nice bike. It was a 2016 1198S with electronic suspension. First bike I had with only bike I had with electronic suspension, and so it was really nice to run around on the road on stuff like that. Carry all type of stuff because I have the 45-gallon saddlebags and I have the 55-gallon top case. But that bike was a little bit big for me. Not big, but heavy to push around. Once I was moving, it was fine. But to push around it was a little bit much. So I have two super bikes now. A couple of race bikes. Well, actually, 3 race bikes, 2 KTM RC390 and the R6. Got a dedicated track bikes. So down the road I may add something a little bit more comfortable to replace the Multistrada or the space the Multistrada fit. One of the main reasons I traded it in because, as you guys know, Ducatis run hot. And so it's not the best bike for the summer months down here. So I need something that's a little bit cooler to ride that time of the year because, I don't want to sweat my nuts off. And I like to wear gear, so it's hard to have gear on in July and August down here. But I'm determined to wear gear because I do believe safety first. I've crashed enough in my life to know that it might happen again, and if it does happen, I feel more comfortable with gear on. Race bikes have GP shift and my street bikes as well, so this is no different. Definitely a fan of it. I hear them say when you're on the Panigale, it's easy to be doing speeds and not realize it. But I feel the same way about this 1198, and this bike is 15 years old, and I feel the same way that you get up to speeds pretty quick and not even realize it. So what do I have on this bike here? I got Rizomo mirrors with the turn signals built into them. I got Rizomo turn signals in the rear. I don't really do much, as you guys know, to my street bikes, but I have enough to make them be comfortable and do what I need them to do. I mean, this bike did need a clutch, so when I replaced the clutch, I ended up going with the dry slipper, but it had a stock clutch in before that. So, and I normally don't do that much kind of hard riding on the streets. I think if I wasn't going to the track as much as I go to the track, it may be different. But I get all my my excitement out at the track. So when I'm on the streets, it's more just straight pleasure. And yeah, sometimes, you can't help but twist the throttle. But as you guys can tell, I don't really ride in a group. I don't ride in a group. Not that I don't really. I don't ride in a group. So it's usually, I want to say it's kind of nomad riding. But I just don't have the time, I suppose, to ride in a group. Hopefully this year, I'm definitely going to try to do some more meetups and stuff like that, because I'm trying to build a brand out, the Be Forever Cool brand out, XT45 brand out. So I know I have to get out and start going to some of these meetups and stuff like that, and connecting with people, and let people know that this show exists and stuff. So you definitely will see me more at that kind of stuff, but I won't be the person, I'm not going to be racing or anything like that, or racing anyone, but I'm looking forward to seeing, what that culture is like. I've mostly been around the racing culture for the most part. And so, I've gone in Boston, I went to a couple of bike shows that they would have at the end of the summer and stuff like that. But it was like down the street from where I live, so realistically, it wasn't a long ride and stuff. So, you will see more of that happening this year, along with the track ride and stuff. And I'm looking forward to going racing. One of my race bikes is completed. Another one is getting the engine swapped out. That's the R6. And then I got to go get that dynoed afterwards. And then my KTM, the RC, hopefully that'll get sorted out as well. And I should have all those both bikes back before the season starts. But if not, and the season for me, I'm not quite sure when it's going to start. There's a part of me that want to say next month. But I might wait because there's other commitments that I have, and I think scheduling wise, it may not work out to go to first round. So I think it's probably going to be March. It's probably going to be my first round of racing. But I might do a track day in. This looks fun out here. I might do a track day in February. So if I'm not racing, at least I'll do a track day. And then, look forward to the season. Definitely comment below. Tell me how your off season is going, if you have an off season, depending where you are in the world. Because some people don't have off seasons if the weather's good. Or even if the weather's bad, because up north they do the ice racing. So I have to say I'm a fan of the V4, the L twin, the twins. I'm a fan of the inlines as well. I've had two R6s. I may even get another inline 4 bike, but I'm hoping to get a triple. Cause that's the only bike. That's only one of the few engine characteristics that I haven't owned. I've ridden a triple before, but I've never owned one. So we shall see. That'd be a good bike to have. I don't know which triple. Probably a naked, if I had to guess. So between the Yamaha and the Triumph, I think maybe an MV. But I like bikes that have a decent gas range. So the MV makes it difficult because like my multi-shot, I like my 1198 here. I think I get about 75, 80 miles out of a tank, and that's just too short for me. So, you know, if I can't get at least 120 plus miles out of a tank, I just don't like stopping at the gas station as often, and it's easy for me to do 100 miles on a bike. So, you know, I don't want to stop every hour in a 8-hour ride or something like that. That's no fun. Stop. Or even I'm just trying to get somewhere. And it's more than the tank. It's no fun to do that. So, you know, that keeps the Triumph and the Yamaha MT-09 and probably the 765 on the table more so than the MV Agusta. Now, the MV Agusta is a beautiful bike, and chances are if I got an MV, it probably would only be the F3 and not a naked bike. So, which I already have a lot of sport bikes. I'm not gonna say I can't have one more, but you know. So yeah, so I'm leaning more towards the Triumph and or the MT-09. We shall see. Flashing light mean people are crossing. No. Until next time, I'm Rex45. Check out BeForeverCool.com.